Hello everyone. Yesterday we saw an absolute masterclass from South Africa where they almost, I would say, exposed to a certain degree, but definitely outplayed India. India was clear favorites heading into this World Cup, but now with that big defeat, India is on the verge of where they could get knocked out potentially if West Indies managed to beat South Africa. But this is not an analysis about what went wrong, what could have been. As just a cricket lover, I thought there were some unbelievable demonstrations of tactical brilliance from South Africa yesterday. And I've picked out 5 such moments, and I just want to, demonstrate what panned out yesterday. And first of those, and the most important of all of them, is reading of the conditions and reading a particular situation, reading a pitch. And South Africa nailed it to a large degree. And when I say nailed it, I want to pick on the first moment. It was Arshdeep Singh versus Aiden Markram. There are going to be a couple of photos and screen grabs that we got from yesterday's game where Arshdeep Singh bowled that ball. Aiden Markram looked to punch it on the up. When I say on the up, the ball was far away and he wanted to hit the ball. Didn't get elevation. The ball skidded on. The bat turned in his hand and it skewed and screwed out to Hardik Pandya at mid-off. I'm just going to demonstrate. We've got 2 pitches here. As the camera just follows me, I will demonstrate what it is. I've got somebody to ping a ball. We've got a situation like in Ahmedabad where the ball generally bounces on a red soil surface, and South Africa played 3 games at Ahmedabad where they did get some bounce on certain surfaces. Arshdeep Singh came from over the stumps and angled the ball back to Aiden Markram. Aiden Markram is an upright player. He looked to hit that ball like that. Once again, I'm going to show this has bounce. Keep the ball away from me. This has bounce. It's easier to go over the top because it's got bounce. Now I'm going to shift to another surface. That's a concrete surface where a similar ball will be played. I'm going to take the stumps. We just played on an astro surface. We moved to a concrete wicket just to show you the difference that surface has got a bit more bounce. It's easier to create elevation. But here we are on a concrete surface. The ball's going to skid on. It's not going to create the same sort of bounce. So when I'm going to try and attempt the shot, it's clearly not going to find the same elevation. Markram here, again Arshdeep comes. See, the ball goes like that. There you go again. The ball's not gone like that, which went in the AstroTurf. It's gone flatter. And that's exactly what happened with Aiden Markram's dismissal yesterday with Arshdeep Singh. The moment the South Africans found that out, they devised game plans accordingly with the bat. And also when they bowled with the ball, they were aware of that, hit the length, changed the pace up, didn't give a lot of bounce to work with. The only ball that they gave bounce to work with was for Abhishek Sharma, where he played that uppercut. And if I'm not wrong, that was against Rabada, who doesn't have a lot of change-ups. They read the conditions with that dismissal, and if you saw how David Miller combated Varun Chakravarti and some of the other players, Devol Brevis against Washington Sundar, it was a clear testament of how they read the conditions, devised their batting plans, and also pruned their bowling plans accordingly in the second innings. We will move on to the next example. This was a clear diktat on how you are on the game and reading game conditions while the game conditions are panning out, a very crucial factor in cricket, which is not spoken much about, but it's a great asset to have such a quality inside your dressing room. All right, the next important part of the game, now that the game awareness is out of the way, Arshdeep Singh, Markram read the pitch. He himself captained the side, bowled the first over. Sure, got Ishan Kishan out. He's been in the form of his life, Ishan Kishan. But that said, I want to address the next part of the game, which was very crucial for South Africa. Having lost 3 wickets inside the power play, Brevis and Miller had to build a partnership. And against who? Against Varun Chakravarti, who is the best bowler in this format going around in the world. How did South Africa manage to counter him? And there is a little bit of lack of awareness in this, especially from the Indian side, a little bit of lack of awareness from maybe how Varun Chakravarti is exuding his skill sets. Just to take you there, David Miller. How did David Miller counter Varun Chakravarti in this particular game? David Miller had a very clear set of plan. The first over Varun Chakravarti bowled, he played a ball which he wasn't sure which way it was headed. Then that ball straightened a fraction, it took a thick outside edge, beat the slip fielder and went for a boundary. For those who don't know, Varun actually doesn't like putting slips in place a lot of occasions. But since it was David Miller, he put a slip in. But that's not the facet of the game that I was going to talk about. Immediately outside the power play, when Varun came back to bowl in, he bowled round the stumps. There's going to be a picture set. I still hope I'm on the frame. There's going to be a picture set that will be shown here. Varun Chakravarti bowls around the stumps to David Miller and putting the bat down. He's gone there. He is bowled. He is someone who gets his hand really close to the ear. And from round the stumps, when he is delivering this ball, his wrist is found in this position when he is delivering the googly. Now the problem here is, He's bowling right from up top near his ear. And when he bowls that ball, the ball's going to start rotating and he's bowling the ball in an angle where the ball's coming towards the left-hander and needs to defeat him on the other way. The angle is actually against Varun in terms of getting the deviation. Taking you back to the bilateral series against New Zealand at Nagpur, if you go back and check it, Mark Chapman steps out to Varun Chakravarti when he bowls round the stumps and hits him for a 6, and Varun moves to over the stumps. The same shot is tried, he top edges it and skies it. Now this is a very, very fine aspect of the game, because if Varun moves to over the stumps, what happens in this case is pretty simple. His wrist is suddenly in this position and it's going there because he needs to deliver the ball in that angle towards the left-hander. It's going there and the angle is doing a lot of work for Varun and the deviation is far greater when he bowls from over the stumps. And that's why you see him defeat a lot of right-handers inside half of the blade getting batsmen bowled. Varun Chakravarti's biggest strength is the ball that comes back into the right-hander and leaves the left-hander, and him sticking to over the stumps and changing his angles really helps him out. The change of the angle advances or enhances the deviation that he gets, which does get affected when he goes round the stumps. He has, for some strange reason, started round the stumps to left-handers, maybe because there is a thought process in the think tank that they want to get LBW into play, but batters are really trying to work it out, because before the game we had seen Faf du Plessis say Varun Chakravarti is the biggest X factor, and they are definitely. I mean, it is a part of international cricket where teams do think like that. They want to track you down. Analysis is being done. Data is being broken down. But what did David Miller do? How did he counter this? He came round the stumps. The ball's pitched, and he knows it's being tossed up. It is a googly once again. It's not done a whole lot off the surface. And since he's found time, he said, okay, that's not deviating, and the screenshot is again, screen grab is attached. He's cleared his foot and gone against the break and hit a huge 6. Why has it gone so far? There is a lot of overspin on the ball. It's dropped on David Miller, but he knows the deviation is not going to defeat his outside edge. He's gone with the angle, hit him on the leg side. Now you break it across. Varun's got a hit for a 6. He's gone over the stumps. David Miller is batting once again. He knows the deviation is going to be far greater. He is blinded. The ball's falling on his body, so he's given himself a little bit of width, given the stumps away. He knows Varun gets a lot of overspin. He's hit him through the offside. He's cracked it open through covers. He's hit one over the top, but again, David Miller is dismissed when Varun Chakravarti has bowled over the stumps. Varun was countered well by South Africa. They looked to hit him down the ground. Dewald Brevis again gave himself width, hit him through the offside, made him toss the ball up and hit him for a 6. Sometimes in T20 cricket, this has happened over the years. I've played a lot of T20 cricket, and when bowlers do need to understand that batsmen are coming after them, nobody wants to fail in international cricket. They are going to track us down with several advantages. They're going to do everything that it takes for their own success. In those scenarios, it's extremely crucial for a bowler to understand that I need to take a step back here and be a defensive at times, because that's where we are headed next. Hardik versus Stubbs, the last over of the game, which pretty much turned that particular match on its head. All right, I'm now down pitch side to explain the next important phase of the game. Surya used Arshdeep Singh and also used Jasprit Bumrah to shut down the 17th, 18th and 19th overs. In fact, South Africa didn't risk much against Bumrah. They played the singles. Tristan Stubbs just played him out. And then in came Hardik for the 20th over, which looked like a decent strategy. But it's not so much about Hardik the bowler. Hardik the bowler has actually delivered a lot for India. He's done a great job. But these are 3 deliveries that I'm going to talk about, and there is one there. I'm going to take you through each one of them. If you look at the length of the pitch, these are the balls that went for runs when Hardik delivered. And that was the ball that didn't go for runs in the last over. Now I'm going to get up and revisit this one. If I'm Tristan Stubbs, I'm going to say, knock it here. Hardik, please give me these balls here. Because the first ball, 19.1, Hardik bowls to Tristan Stubbs. Tristan Stubbs is on strike and he stands here looking for a big hit right down the ground. Where does Hardik bowl the ball? He bowls it right here and Tristan Stubbs jams it and it goes for 2 runs. It goes for 2 runs there. Now my point here is, we are bowling the last over of the game and the next one that Hardik bowls is into the pitch right here. If you look here, this is probably where Hardik has delivered that ball. He's bowled it right into the pitch. Stubbs has looked to club it to square leg. Sure, Washington Sundar could have, I don't think it was a catch. It fell in front of him, but that ball's gone there for a boundary. The next one is dropped short right here, halfway down the pitch. It's there begging to be hit for a 6. And the last one is again into the pitch, high and short, and can be clipped over for a 6. Now look, anybody can go for runs. These are a lot of runs in the last over, and anybody can go for these runs. It's very important to have a conversation with the bowler, especially during the last over, and understand the thought process. There are two things involved when a bowler is delivering the ball, right? One is, what are you thinking? What ball do you want to deliver? And two is execution of the ball. Execution of the delivery per se can be wrong. It's only natural that you come and execute a ball and you don't get it to the desired perfection that you want, and the balls can be going all. But these three deliveries are not quite the execution bit. It is the thinking bit. When you get to the last over of the first innings and when you're going to chase a score down, it's very important for a bowler to say, I'm going to save every single run here because we'll have to chase that run lesser. And that's why even the first drag down, which went for a 6, is not so much of a problem, because the bowler is testing out the pitch and saying into the pitch could be hard to hit, which could be the scenario. But once that's gone, these two deliveries are actually a real big thought process error. You've gone for a 6 here, you've gone for a 2 with the ball there, and now you're going back to these options. The only result that you can get out of these deliveries is a wicket or a 6. You're not going to get anything else from these deliveries. It's important to chase every single run lesser when you get down to the last phase of the game. And yet again, Stubbs won this particular phase of the game and India lost this particular phase of the game, not because of skill, but because of tactical thinking. I'm a huge fan of Abhishek Sharma, and that's where I'm headed for the next wonderful display of excellent planning by South Africa on that particular day. I'm Abhishek Sharma, I'm standing here, Lungi Ngidi is charging in to bowl to me, and look at what South Africa have done. I'm going to pan the camera to the right, which is my offside as Abhishek Sharma. There are two fielders there. They're going both lifting their hands up. One is a deep extra cover and the other one's a deep point. We all know that inside the power play, there can be only two fielders outside of the circle, which means both these fielders are on the offside and everybody on the leg side is up in the circle. If Abhishek Sharma gets in line and picks the ball on elevation, that's a boundary or a 6 on the leg side. But what does Lungi Ngidi do? He says, okay, you're coming to bat. I'm going to keep it really wide. Let's go for this. And Abhishek stands on leg stump. As your screen grab will show you, stands leg stump. He's a very good offside player, banking upon himself to take this. The ball is floated up. It's almost a looping slower ball. Abhi goes to hit it. He's beaten on the loop. The ball's dipped and it's landed inside the crease on the wide line. It's actually given as a wide, if I'm not wrong. He bowls 2 of those deliveries. Now Abhishek in his mind is thinking, okay, here we go. There are 2 fielders on the offside. Lungi cannot bowl on my legs. I'm going to move aside and pick the ball here. He is actually holding his position, looking for that ball there. His head is bobbing back and the ball's actually looped and dropped on him. And his bat is up and the ball's landed right underneath his bat. It's a beautiful display of wonderful slower ball execution by Lungi Ngidi. He's probably at this point of time the most improved T20 bowler going around. His slower balls are lethal. He's developed a leg cutter for a right-hander as well. And now Abhishek is saying, okay, this ball's landed here. You're going to telegraph and bowl everything outside off stump. I'm coming for you. Moves aside. His head is fallen this way. And he's bowled and nailed a slower ball here. Now this is extremely difficult for Abhi to get under. He's almost shocked. Just drops it away for a single. And Lungi has done him truly in that. What happens in the next over? He's played by these change-up of paces. He's played with these fields. Marco Jansen, who's never delivered a knuckleball slower one to an Indian batting lineup, delivers a peach of a delivery, and Abhi just skies it right up. At this point of time, anybody, when they are not in form, can develop small bad habits. At this point of time, Abhi is looking to hit the ball really hard, and Abhishek really needs to understand that his head going forward is a very important facet of his game. His head again threw back, defeated on the slower ball, lifted it straight up, and he got dismissed. Yet another example on this particular day, and one of my favorite executions from Lungi Ngidi, coupled, and that's why I say in T20 cricket, it's not about whether you bowl a good ball, it's about bowling for your partner. Jasprit Bumrah bowls 4 overs, 15 runs, 3 wickets. Lungi Ngidi bowls 4 overs, 15 runs, no wickets. But on that particular day, the way he executed his slower balls, he actually was my man of the match. He bowled for his partners. His partners ended up with wickets. Maharaj ended up with 3 wickets, which was literally clothing up the tail, getting Rinku Singh out when the scoring rate was way above par. And South Africa on that day were just absolutely brilliant. India were caught on the back foot. They need to rise up again. All right, last but definitely not the least, my favorite part of the game, where absolutely South Africa bossed this particular game, was how they planned for Surya Kumar Yadav. Tilak Verma got out to a beauty from Marco Jansen. He showed a lot of intent, but it was a really, really good delivery that Tilak got. But that aside, I've got these two stumps with me. And what are these for? I'm going to just put it down this pitch so that you understand what South Africa told themselves. South Africa put this on a block and put an into here. They put an into mark. If you look at it, it's a cross. And South Africa said, Sky, we are not offering you anything here. This is the ball. You're going to flip across to play the Tsupla shot. And as the camera pans in, you can see what South Africa actually did. Sky came into bat. Marco Jansen runs in. Good high-paced delivery. He delivers it here. He flips it for a 4. Gets a great start. Puts next one through the offside. Again, high-paced delivery. Times it beautifully. Then he hits one to cover. It's a dot ball. In comes Lungi Ngidi. What does he do? Delivers every first ball is a hard length ball here. Sky blocks it. And the next 4 deliveries, as the camera comes in, you will understand that these are all slower balls. These are all slower deliveries and full. If you look at Sky's wagon wheel, there is nothing down the ground. He's literally pounded it down the ground, found the fielders and not got anything. He's not been able to get elevation. They're asking Sky, can you hit us down the ground over the top? Sure, Sky can hit the ball over the top. He can, but he needs pace on the ball. What are they asking him to do? We're going to take pace off the ball. We're going to keep it closer to you. Lift us over mid-on and mid-off. Now, what have they done with that into mark down the ground is they have denied him the shot here. And when that shot eventually arrived, that was a slower 1-2. He played the ball early, hit the bottom edge, went to short mid-wicket for a catch. Once again, beautiful planning. I'm not saying every day your plan gets executed really well, but this occasion, they asked Sky, and international cricket is all about finding solutions to problems. South Africa had a problem in hand, which was India's devastating batting lineup. They had a solution for each batter. They planned for each batter. They executed beautifully on that particular day, gave us a lot of headaches, and they put a lot of questions and seeds in India's minds. India will need to start searching for answers very soon because they've got 2 games coming up where they need to be at their primary best to have a great chance going into the series. Hope you enjoyed this demo of South African masterclass in the Super 8s game.